Shares of LinkedIn are lower today, as you can see in the company reporting last night. It's taking a hit on weak revenue outlooks, essentially, despite beating estimates on where they were in the quarter. Let's bring in John Steinberg, President and COO at BuzzFeed, and indeed a CNBC contributor. Good morning, John.
Good to be here.
Your take here.
My take here is that it's very similar to Twitter. They came in a little bit light on the number of registered users of the platform. They came in at 277. Most people thought it would come in around 279. That's still, call it 18, 19 million ads, but not where people wanted it to come out. Lower guidance for Q1. This company tends to be a sandbagger. They tend to.
What does that mean?
It means low guidance, under promise, over deliver. So I don't think you can read that much into it. But there's just no margin for error on a company that's this expensive.
Although expensive, I mean, you compare it to Twitter, it's cheap.
Well, it's 26 times EV to EBITDA before today's correction.
Which is a big multiple, no doubt about it.
So now brings it,
Although Twitter's at 30 times sales.
Oh no, I know. And Twitter had had its comeuppance yesterday. So this is kind of the second act of that. You've got to beat on all these top line metrics: users, revenue. There was some bright spots in it actually. The marketing solutions, where they are migrating to a sponsored update, almost like Twitter or Facebook has. They did 15 million in revenue on that. 2/3 from mobile, so some signs that they will cross the chasm to these future-proof mobile ad products.
Not all social networks are the same, are they? I mean, LinkedIn is a high-quality, high-revenue operation compared certainly to some of the others. So what do you think of this idea that they're going to refocus on their existing customers? They're going to grow their sales force by over 30% during the course of the year, as Evercore put it, so that the managers are more farmers than hunters.
That has been their philosophy now for, I would say, going on a year. They brought in Dan Roth, who's basically the editor of LinkedIn, spun up this influencer platform where a lot of CEOs blog directly on the platform. The move now is engagement. They don't want it to just be a place where you post your resume and go to sleep and wait for a job offer. They want people going there to read news, so now they are trying to get more engagement, more views, more page views,
and
more ad revenue.
To the HR departments and the promotional activities of the big companies?
They've been strong there with the talent solutions. What they want now is to be a media company and be a news company.
Aren't they competing with Facebook in a way that they perhaps didn't in the past?
David, everybody's competing now on the media stuff. I mean, there are only so many baby pictures. There are only so many resume lookups. Now people need to go to these platforms to get their content, so they are all going in on this now. Twitter's going in on it. Twitter wants to be second screen. Facebook wants to be second screen. LinkedIn wants to be business news. Everybody's going after engagement.
I mean, to that point, why can't LinkedIn just be the enterprise social network? Why does it have to make a move that could potentially confuse or dilute the message into these other more consumer-friendly areas?
Because, Kelly, ultimately there's not enough usage if they're just the place where you go to update your job and look for jobs and do that networking. There needs to be something there that people go to read, and media and content is how people spend their lives. So there's nothing else for them to do at this point. They bought Pulse, which is basically a newsreader app. So Pulse is now similar to Paper, which is Facebook's app for reading the news. It's just amazing to see everybody go at each other right now.
I mean, you're not an analyst, John, but you do have a very special technical perspective on all these social media sites.
Yes.
I'll ask you the question I asked the guy before the break. If I gave you $1,000 to invest for 20 years, into which of these sites would you put it?
I will totally equivocate and dodge the question by saying I would put in on a basket of them. I would basically buy an internet basket across LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Zillow.
Is that because it's almost random who goes to the wall and who loses their power?
I think because I can't pick which is going to ebb and flow in any given quarter, but I know on a net basis that these companies are going to replace the traditional media companies.
I thought you were saying, I'm just going to put it all on BuzzFeed.
Well, it already is. I mean, so
it's all in on it.
It already is. So that's he gave me a new $1,000. So
it's Simon's $1,000.
For $10,000. But really, I mean, that's what I would do. I think investors should just index into this stuff, basically.
Have a good weekend. Good luck with the schooling options.
Oh,
and the
thank you very much. I find out about kindergarten today. So yeah.
Boy, big
thanks, John. John Steinberg.
And that's one quite a bit.
Everybody's finding out today in New York about this.
Are they really?
Yeah.
A lot of depressed parents.